My pulse nearly froze when Veronica slid a pistol from her designer handbag and leveled it square at my chest. For an instant, all I could think was, "So this is how a rancher disappears. You'll never own this land," she snarled. "Your family's story ends tonight." Then she laughed, sharp and hollow. But instead of fear, something shifted in me. I drew a steady breath, locked eyes with her, and said, "You're standing on Granger soil. This ranch has survived wars, depressions, and worse than you. My family's name is in this dirt." She didn't believe me. To Veronica, I was just a bumpkin with a rusty truck and misplaced pride. While she filed bogus HOA citations and sweet-talked crooked politicians, she assumed I was too dumb to fight back. She never imagined I had my own plans brewing, because people like her never think folks like me have teeth. 8 months earlier, I'd been writing code in Denver, living off Thai takeout and startup deadlines. But when my parents died in a car crash, they left me Granger Ranch, 150 acres of foothills, in northern Colorado, in our family since 1870. I came back just to tidy it up, maybe sell. But the second I stepped onto that porch and felt the mountain air, heard the cattle lowing and the barn groaning, I knew I was home. I didn't know tractors, but Hank, our grizzled foreman of 4 decades, kept me from blowing the irrigation system sky high more than once. And then there was Julie Monroe, my widowed neighbor who carried herself like steel wrapped in kindness. She brought chili, advice, and more grit than I could muster. With their help, I found my rhythm. Then Veronica arrived. One Thursday, a black Mercedes SUV prowled up my gravel drive, dust caking its paint. Out stepped a woman in cream slacks and sunglasses that hid more than they revealed. Platinum hair, sharp smile. "Veronica Holston," she announced, "president of the Silvergate Bluffs HOA." I'd heard of Silvergate, a brand new luxury subdivision half a mile south. She glanced at my corrals with distaste. "The smells are affecting residents' quality of life." I blinked. "Ma'am, this is a working ranch. If you smell cattle, that's because we have cattle, and I'm not under your HOA." Her smile cracked. "We deal with uncooperative neighbors. Trim that grass. It's an eyesore." The first violation letter came a week later. Then another. Unapproved structures, my barn. Unauthorized business activity, ranching. Excessive noise, roosters. Fines mounted, threats escalated. I called Nate, my old college roommate turned real estate lawyer. "This is harassment," he confirmed. "They have zero jurisdiction." But then he warned me. "Veronica's husband, Dale, is a developer with clout. Watch your back." So I dug, and what I found churned my gut. Holston Development had filed permits for Silvergate Ridge, a luxury resort set to box in my ranch on 3 sides. They didn't care about smells. They wanted my land. Things turned ugly. My irrigation was mysteriously cut off for 3 days. County inspectors trespassed with cameras. Someone left the south gate open and half my herd wandered into the road. Julie helped me round them up. "This is war," she told me. "They pulled the same tricks after my husband died." I had to sell 5 acres just to breathe. Then Nate found that the mayor had quietly approved a public access easement slicing right through my pasture. "No notice, no warning. They're devaluing your land," Nate explained, "so they can swoop in with a cheap offer." That night, a blocked call. "Sell while you can." Shame if something happened. I'd had enough. At the next council meeting, I stood and laid out maps, documents, photos, every dirty trick they'd pulled. Mayor Reynolds tried to cut me off, until a voice thundered from the back. "Let him speak." It was Colonel Frank Granger, my great-uncle, retired Marine, county legend. His silent presence gave me steel. I finished strong. Afterward, Councilwoman Leah Kim whispered, "You've got guts. And maybe a case." The very next day, Tara Flynn of the Rockridge Chronicle splashed my story across the front page. "Rancher versus Empire. How a family farm became target of HOA tyranny." The article went viral. Silvergate residents began calling, sharing nightmare stories. One woman had been fined $1,200 for planting daisies instead of HOA-approved petunias. Then came a twist I never saw coming. At a diner 2 towns over, a young man stepped from a beat-up Honda. "I'm Eli Holston," he said quietly. "Their son. I don't agree with what they're doing." He slid me a USB drive, emails, records, and something else. "Your grandfather put a covenant on part of Silvergate before he sold it. Any commercial build triggers your family's right to buy it back, dirt cheap. I checked. He was right. I called Nate. We've got them. But the Holstons hit back. My barn went up in flames. Arson. Julie's water tested tainted by runoff from Silvergate Cruise. The sheriff, deep in Dale's pocket, brushed us off. That's when Frank called in favors with the state attorney general. Agent Miranda Lopez took one look at our files and said, "This isn't just corruption. It's organized. And we've been watching." I tightened security. Nate filed suits. And I made my boldest move. With a loan through Frank's connections and an Austin investor, I bought Silvergate HOA's outstanding debt. Suddenly, I controlled their lifeline. At the next HOA meeting, I walked in, documents in hand. Veronica paled. "This is private." She shrieked. "Not anymore," I said. "I'm your primary creditor." Residents erupted with questions about soaring dues. Shady contracts to Dale's firm. Veronica flailed. She lost control. That night, surveillance caught her dumping waste near the creek. When I confronted her, she drew the gun. "You don't get to win," she hissed. But the footage went to Lopez. Veronica was arrested, assault, illegal dumping, conspiracy. Dale was charged with fraud and bribery. The mayor resigned in disgrace. The Holston mansion foreclosed. Later turned into a museum honoring Granger Ranch's role in the county's founding. The next spring, under cottonwoods behind the house, Julie and I married. Her kids now help Hank with chores. Eli launched a sustainable architecture firm and rebuilt our barn. The state declared Granger Ranch a protected landmark, forever untouchable. Every fall, we host the Granger Harvest Festival. Neighbors gather not just to celebrate crops, but to remember, this land isn't a commodity. It's home, and home remembers its own.